legendary blues singer Howlin Wolf brought passion and pain to the American music scene, leaving behind a timeless legacy and heart-wrenching story. From his impoverished childhood, Wolf's life was marked by tragedy. Join us as we disclose the tragic life and end of Howlin Wolf.
A lot of people holler about, I don't like no blues, but when you ain't got no money and can't pay your house rent and can't buy you no food, you damn sure got the blues.
The unrevealed origins of Wolf's musical legacy. Howlin Wolf is commonly recognized as one of the top blues musicians in history. His distinct, gravelly voice and strong presence on stage were famous for conveying genuine emotion and authenticity. He not only influenced the development of rock and roll, but also shaped the Chicago blues scene with popular songs like Smokestack Lightning and Spoonful. Wolf's legacy as a blues legend was secured by his unmatched talent for combining strong vocals with exceptional guitar and harmonica skills. Wolf decided to pursue a career in the music industry and become a successful musician when he was just 17 years old. As a result, Wolf purchased his first guitar on January 15, 1928. He had accumulated enough money to buy the guitar, and that specific day would be remembered by him forever. In 1930, Wolf came across the legendary Charlie Patton 2 years later when he bought his first guitar. During that time, Charlie was a famous blues musician in the Mississippi Delta. Wolf and Charlie Patton formed a strong bond, with Charlie regularly teaching Wolf new guitar techniques. Wolf recalled performing his first song, focusing on getting his pony ready and riding his black mare, inspired by Charlie Patton's Pony Blues. Wolf also gained knowledge about performance from Charlie Patton. While playing his guitar, Wolf would rotate it in various directions, swing it over his shoulders and between his legs, and even toss it up in the air, as he mentioned. During his life, Wolf consistently employed the guitar techniques he had picked up from Charlie Patton.
And I've got to bring down my clothes. I'm gonna quit you. I'm going upstairs.
The duo often hosted gatherings in the small communities of the Delta, where Wolf further perfected his musical abilities. He developed expertise in playing melodies such as How Long Blues by Leroy Carr and Matchbox Blues by Blind Lemon Jefferson. Another element that influenced Wolf was the country music singer Jimmie Rodgers. His effort to copy Jimmie Rodgers' blue yodel resulted in a growl or a howl instead. Wolf talked about the subject and pointed out that, as he was unable to yodel, he had turned to howling instead, which had proven to be effective. In 1933, Sonny Boy Williamson taught Wolf how to play harmonica in Parkin, Arkansas, which had an impact on Wolf's playing style. In the 1930s, he performed solo in the South and collaborated with fellow musicians such as Willie Johnson, Floyd Jones, and Honey Boy Edwards. By the end of the 1930s, Wolf had become a well-known performer in clubs, gaining fame for his talent on the harmonica and electric guitar. With the world thinking that this was his limit, Wolf shocked the world by moving steps further into stardom. Journey to stardom. In 1951, freelance talent scout Ike Turner found Howlin Wolf in West Memphis. Turner then took him to Sun Studio and Modern Records to make several recordings for Sam Phillips and the Bahari Brothers. Phillips praised his singing, stating, "The impact it would have on screen, seeing the emotions in his face as he sang. His gaze would light up, veins protruding on his neck, fully concentrated on that song. He sang with complete zeal." Howlin Wolf quickly became popular in the area and began working with a band that included guitarists Willie Johnson and Pat Hare. Since Sun Records did not exist yet, Phillips allowed Chess Records to release his recording. Howlin Wolf released his first singles on 2 record labels in 1951. Chess dropped Moanin' at Midnight, How Many More Years, and Modern's RPM Records released Riding in the Moonlight, Morning at Midnight, and Passing by Blues, Crying at Daybreak.
I'm gonna get up in the morning. I believe I dust my broom.
Leonard Chess successfully secured Howlin Wolf's contract in December 1951, which prompted his relocation to Chicago in late 1952 as suggested by Chess. In Chicago, Howlin Wolf put together a new band and brought on Jody Williams, a local Chicago guitarist who had previously worked with Memphis Slim. Within a year, he managed to persuade guitarist Hubert Sumlin to relocate from Memphis to Chicago to collaborate with him. Sumlin's understated solos and surprisingly polished performance perfectly complemented Burnett's strong vocals. The lineup of the Howlin Wolf Band changed often over the years. He employed various guitarists for both recordings and live performances, including Willie Johnson, Jody Williams, Lee Cooper, L.D. McGee, Otis, Big Smokey Smothers, his sibling Little Smokey Smothers, Jimmy Rogers, Freddie Robinson, Buddy Guy, and many more. Burnett's strategy of paying his musicians well and on time, in addition to offering perks such as unemployment insurance and Social Security contributions, helped him attract high-quality musicians. Sumlin remained a member of the band for most of Howlin Wolf's career, temporarily departing in the late 1950s, and played a key role in developing the band's unique Chicago sound as their guitarist. In the 1950s, Howlin Wolf had 5 songs that made it to the Billboard National R&B charts. Moanin' at Midnight, How Many More Years, Who Will Be Next, Smokestack Lightning, and I Asked for Water, She Gave Me Gasoline. The first album he released, titled Moanin' in the Moonlight, came out in 1959.
I believe my time alone.
During that era, it was typical for the album to feature singles that had already been put out. Wolf drew inspiration from many of his most famous songs from his difficult upbringing. Musical tracks like How Many More Years and Smokestack Lightning were influenced by the suffering and obstacles he had faced. Speaking of challenging childhood, what happened in his early years? Let's find out. Wolf's challenging childhood, the worst times of his life. Howlin Wolf, also known as Chester Arthur Burnett, was born on June 10, 1910, near West Point, Mississippi, in an area called White Station. His dad, Leon Doc Burnett, was thought to have roots in Ethiopia, whereas his mom, Gertrude Jones, came from the Choctaw tribe. Wolf received his complete name from Chester Alan Arthur, who was the 21st President of the United States. It is thought that his public name, Howlin Wolf, may have been influenced by his grandfather John Jones, or perhaps by his musical hero Jimmy Rogers. There is uncertainty regarding the true story of how Howlin Wolf acquired his nickname due to conflicting reports. Wolf's life started off with challenges, right from the beginning. When Wolf was just 1 year old, his parents separated due to issues in their relationship. His father relocated to the Mississippi Delta for temporary agricultural jobs, while his mother brought young Wolf along to Monroe County. Despite being separated, Wolf dedicated his early years to singing in the church choir with his mother. He credited his musical abilities to her influence, as she had a love for singing and music. At one stage, Wolf seemed to have a strong bond with his mother, but this would ultimately change. In the winter months, Wolf's mother made a bold decision to kick him out of the house, leaving him to brave the cold by himself. The reasons for her actions remain uncertain, but this event signaled the beginning of a strained relationship between them. Their relationship deteriorated further when Wolf chose to pursue a career in secular music, a decision his devoutly religious mother considered to be sinful. She viewed the blues music that Wolf liked as conflicting with her values, so she could not support his choice. At the height of his successful career, Wolf attempted to reconcile with his mother by visiting her in Mississippi. He tried to offer her money earned from his music career, but she refused.
I've been gone. I don't you hear me talking to your woman?
Calling it money from evil. The ultimate refusal she delivered had a severely damaging impact on their relationship, leaving a permanent, emotional mark on Wolf. Even though he was doing well, his mother's disapproval remained a source of pain in his life. After his mother turned him away, Wolf went to live with his great-uncle, Will Young. Unfortunately, residing with Young turned out to be even more difficult. His uncle was demanding and made him perform challenging tasks on the plantation where they lived. As a young boy, Wolf worked long hours under the scorching sun harvesting cotton, and despite his youth, he was unable to attend school. Wolf was in charge of not just picking cotton, but also of plowing and other strenuous farm duties. Wolf lived in deprivation and lacked basic comforts and necessities due to the minimal compensation he received from his uncle. Residing with his uncle was both physically exhausting and emotionally harmful. Will Young frequently beat Wolf, leading him to experience both physical and mental anguish. The ongoing mistreatment led to enduring injuries, leaving Wolf struggling to navigate his harsh environment. At the age of 13, Wolf experienced a particular incident that was especially distressing. In a fit of rage, he took the life of one of his uncle's pigs after staining his fancy clothes during an unintentional pursuit. After hearing about what happened, Wolf's uncle punished him harshly by chasing him on a mule and whipping him. This occasion represented a pivotal moment for Wolf. Determined to escape his uncle's cruel treatment, he ran away from the farm. According to Wolf's account, he traveled an impressive 85 miles in search of his father. Upon finally finding his father, he became a part of his father's family, and for the first time in his life, experienced a moment of happiness. Living with his father provided Wolf with a fresh start, leading him to feel free from the suffocating environment at his uncle's house. Determined to leave behind his painful past, Wolf decided to take on a new persona as John D. in order to make a fresh start. Afterwards, many of his relatives identified him by that name. During his lifetime, he acquired various nicknames like Bull, Cow, and Bigfoot Chester because of his large stature. Standing at 6'3" and weighing around 275 pounds, Wolf's strong presence was just as impactful as his music. As Wolf grew older, he found solace in music, especially the blues. Many influential blues musicians, particularly Charlie Patton, shaped his passion for music. The powerful vocal talents of Patton mesmerized Wolf so much that he would travel long distances just to hear him sing. Artists like Tommy Johnson and Son House influenced Wolf's music and helped define his musical style and persona.
I'm the man of many folks use my name, but they don't want to let me make no money. I'm the tail.
After moving in with his father, Wolf was able to devote increased time and energy to his music career. He began to demonstrate his skills at local gatherings and started to establish himself as a musical artist. Instead of being overcome by the challenges he encountered in his youth, they fortified him and heightened his resolve. The pain and grief Wolf experienced deeply influenced his music, creating a genuine connection with his audience through his songs. Wolf's terrible experiences in the military. At the end of 1930, Wolf was frequently performing at clubs, but he encountered legal issues in Hughes, Arkansas. While he was in Hughes, a dispute occurred between his female friend and her partner. Wolf ended up in a conflict with the boyfriend in an attempt to protect her, resulting in a tragic escalation. Wolf accidentally took the life of the boyfriend with a hoe, a tool used in traditional farming. There's still uncertainty surrounding the incident. Some sources suggest he fled the town following it, while others state he served time in jail. Ultimately, the outcome of Wolf's situation after the incident was still unclear. On April 9, 1941, Wolf was drafted into the military as the United States entered World War II. Many men chosen for military duty were sent overseas to fight, but fortunately, Wolf was not among those selected to join in combat. The main reason was that he did not wait for his turn to be selected for duty. Reports suggest that he was found by government officials, who then forced him to join the military against his will. Wolf later claimed that the plantation owners had turned on him by informing the army of his whereabouts, when he declined to work in their fields. Following Wolf's capture by the military, he received instruction in Pine Bluff, Arkansas, before relocating to Jacksonville, Florida. Wolf struggled with the training because it was challenging for him due to his lack of previous classroom experience and formal education. He had his first classroom experience when he joined the military. His illiteracy was not considered by the military bureaucracy. He was first placed in the kitchen and later transferred to the Signal Corps. In this new role, Wolf was anticipated to undergo training in interpreting combat communications. After realizing he was unable to read, the Army moved Wolf, a 30-year-old man, to Camp Murray, situated close to Tacoma, Washington, to receive literacy training. Wolf described his tutor as very strict, stating that the tutor would use a riding crop to punish him every time he made an error while writing or reading. He reached his breaking point one day, collapsed, and began to shake. In 1943, he was transferred to a mental institution where he later reflected on his military experience, describing it as, "The Army is akin to hell." Reports indicate that Wolf spent 2 months in a mental institution, with no one realizing they had a future star under their care.
That damn Highway 49. Get out of this town.
Rather than honing his talent, they decided to confine him to a bed. During his presence at the hospital, his body underwent several examinations by the medical staff. At a certain point, the workers decided to force him to undergo electroshock therapy. They were very harsh, taking turns to physically attack him whenever he resisted obeying their orders. Despite the challenging conditions, Wolf occasionally discovered solace in the psychiatric ward by singing the blues. In short moments of freedom, he would sometimes tap his feet to keep the beat, and he liked playing checkers with other patients. Wolf found it ironic that he felt equal to his white peers only while staying in the mental hospital. During his time at the Army Mental Hospital, Wolf underwent several assessments by doctors concerning his mental well-being. A doctor claimed to have schizophrenia due to syphilis, despite not having either of those conditions. Ultimately, Wolf was released from the mental hospital because it was found that he was not mentally capable of joining the military. It is crucial to note that if Wolf had been white, he would likely have received different treatment at the Army Psychiatric Hospital. He was labeled as hysterical, along with other black soldiers of that time period. Reflecting on his military experience, Wolf expressed his dissatisfaction, stating that he felt the Army was not a good fit for a black man and he struggled with always being told what to do, leading him to prefer being in control of his decisions. However, this was not the last controversy Wolf had. At every stage, it became worse. Heartbreaks and family loss. One of the most major personal tragedies that Wolf went through was the death of his family. Following his parents' separation, he relocated to live with his mother, who later kicked him out and arranged for him to stay with his uncle, Will Young. Wolf's relationship with his mother grew apart as he pursued a career in blues music.
If you getting everything you possess and don't need nothing, you don't have no right to worry about nothing. But when you ain't got nothing, then you got to worry about something.
His mother, Gertrude Jones, disapproved of his career decision as ungodly and did not back her son in his pursuit of a career in blues music. She went to the extent of calling the money he gave her the devil's money. Wolf was deeply saddened by the rejection, as he had always sought his mother's endorsement and assistance during his formative years. Due to the divorce, Wolf had a strained connection with his father, but following abuse from his uncle, he opted to flee and live with his father. This choice led to forming a close relationship with his father, who provided him with the required support. Unfortunately, Wolf would be deeply upset because his father, who was the only parent to support his music and career choice, would eventually pass away. Another significant individual in Wolf's life was Sonny Boy Williamson II, also known as Rice Miller, or Little Boy Blue. Sonny and Wolf's friendly competition and mutual respect motivated them to achieve great success in the blues genre. Wolf felt a dual loss.
Well, you see, you had a chance with your life, but you ain't done nothing with it.
both personally and professionally, with the passing of Sonny Williamson in 1965. This event marked the end of a chapter in the blues industry, as Wolf lost a crucial figure in his career. Prior to gaining recognition in the blues music industry, Wolf experienced the loss of one of his major influences, Robert Johnson, in 1938. Johnson was instrumental in influencing Wolf's musical journey, hit albums and tours across Europe. In the early 1960s, Howlin Wolf created many popular songs that were not played on the radio, such as Wong Dong Doodle, Backdoor Man, Spoonful, The Red Rooster, later changed to Little Red Rooster, I Ain't Superstitious, Going Down Slow, and Killing Floor, mostly written by Willie Dixon. Several British and American rock bands incorporated them into their sets, thus contributing to their increased popularity. Howlin Wolf released his second compilation album in 1962, which is often known as the Rocking Chair album because of its cover art. During the 1950s and 1960s, as blues music made a comeback, African American blues musicians became popular among white youth, and Howlin Wolf was one of the first to capitalize on this shift. In 1964, he toured Europe with the American Folk Blues Festival, arranged by German producers Horst Lippmann and Fritz Rau. In 1965, he appeared on the popular TV show Shindig at the request of the Rolling Stones, who had their rendition of Little Red Rooster reach the top of the UK charts in 1964. In the late 60s and early 70s, Howlin Wolf worked with various musicians on albums, the Super Super Blues Band with Bo Diddley and Muddy Waters, the Howlin Wolf album with Gene Barge, Pete Cozy, Roland Faulkner, Morris Jennings, Louis Satterfield, Charles Stepney, and Phil Upchurch, and the London Howlin Wolf sessions with Eric Clapton, Steve Winwood, Ian Stewart, Bill Wyman, Charlie Watts, and others. The London Howlin Wolf sessions, like Muddy Waters' London album, were preferred by British fans over American ones. Wolf's latest album was The Backdoor Wolf, which came out in 1973. Composed entirely of new material, it featured familiar live performers, including Hubert Sumlin, Detroit Jr., Andrew Blue Blood McMahon, Chico Chisholm, Lafayette Shorty Gilbert, and bandleader Eddie Shaw. Because of declining health, this album is not as long as any of his earlier records. Wolf's last public performance was in November 1975 at the International Amphitheater in Chicago. He shared the costs with B.B. King, Albert King, Luther Allison, and O.V. Wright. Wolf is said to have given a remarkable performance in which he crawled across the stage singing Crawling King Snake. The crowd rose to their feet and cheered for him continuously for 5 minutes. Following the conclusion of the concert, once he stepped off the stage, a group of paramedics had to resuscitate him. Despite having lots of big wins, Wolf still struggled with finances, which was unbelievable to many. How did this happen? Let's find out. Financial struggles. If you bring up Wolf's money problems to someone, you'll have a lengthy explanation ahead of you. This is because he is known for his expertise in finance and for generously rewarding his band members with high salaries, sometimes even offering extras like health insurance. However, this prompts the question, how can a man with so much money face financial problems? During Wolf's time in the music industry, artists, especially African Americans, often faced unfair contract terms. The recording company's contracts were beneficial for the companies, but unfair for the musicians. Musicians' earnings during that time did not match their efforts, as the majority of it was claimed by the record companies. This exploitation can be seen clearly in the early 1950s, when Wolf signed a deal with Chess Records. Getting a contract with Chess Records was a rare chance to achieve fame. Indeed, it was a significant opportunity, as Chess Records was one of the leading record companies of the time, especially in promoting blues music to a larger audience. However, the timing of this agreement was unfortunate. During that time period, contracts were far from equitable, and the agreement Wolf received at Chess was no exception. Despite the music he produced being very popular and profitable, Wolf's royalties were only a small fraction of the total earnings. Leonard and Phil Chess, the owners of Chess Records, took the lion's share of the profits, leaving Wolf to struggle for his rightful cut. This was a prevalent scenario for musicians at that time, affecting not just Wolf, but many others too. In that time frame, Wolf did not have the necessary comprehension to address the exploitation he faced. Throughout most of his life, he encountered difficulties in reading and writing, lacking the essential abilities to manage his finances effectively. At the start of his career, he had little understanding of music contracts and royalties, which made him vulnerable to exploitation. Wolf was even more confused about his financial situation because his manager took over the task of managing his finances. Most of Wolf's income came from the many musical tours he went on. While these tours resulted in monetary profit for him, they also led to numerous challenges. Frequently going on tours proved to be tiring, with Wolf having to pay for lodging for himself and his bandmates, a cost that ended up being quite high. Following every tour, he had limited funds remaining because of the expenses incurred from travel, accommodations, and other tour-related costs. Furthermore, Wolf experienced health problems, including kidney and heart issues, along with the added expense of touring, leading to significant medical bills. These health issues worsened his financial situation, draining his resources and hindering the establishment of a secure financial future. Regardless of all the tragic events in Wolf's life, there are a few happy and unforgettable times he had, and that time was when he met his wife, Lily. Who could imagine that the best decision he could ever make was to marry her? Marriage and family, Wolf's happiest moments. In spite of his achievements, Wolf faced personal difficulties. He was a man with intense emotions, and his interactions with women were frequently tumultuous. Nonetheless, his life was forever altered when he encountered Lily Hanley in 1952. Lily, a schoolteacher from Mississippi, was recognized for her calm resilience and steadfast commitment. While some only saw a rough exterior, she saw a kind soul within, a man in search of love and stability after facing harsh treatment from the world. That year, Wolf and Lily tied the knot, initiating a meaningful partnership. Lily evolved from being simply his spouse to also becoming his loyal advocate and overseeing his business affairs. She assumed responsibility for his financial matters, making sure that Wolf received fair payment for his efforts and that his finances were handled prudently. Under her direction, he made thoughtful investments with his earnings, ensuring their future is secure. Lily went beyond just handling money. She also took on the responsibility of being a mother figure to Wolf's two daughters, Betty and Barbara. She nurtured them like they were her own, offering the love and encouragement necessary for them to thrive in life. Wolf continued to grow personally, even after getting married and becoming a father. Despite not having a formal education, he had sharp intelligence and an unquenchable curiosity. In the 1960s, motivated by a determination to improve, he bravely chose to return to school. He obtained his GED and enrolled in accounting and business management courses, gaining important skills to maneuver through the music industry. His insatiable thirst for knowledge led him to study Braille, showing his determination to fully explore the world. For Wolf, education meant more than just success in school. It was a means to seize control of his life and escape the constraints imposed by society that hindered his progress. He realized that knowledge was powerful and was committed to acquiring as much as he could, knowing that education could unlock opportunities that were previously inaccessible due to circumstances. While striving to better himself, Wolf always prioritized his music and his family. He kept performing live and making albums that showcased his changing sound and intense love for blues music. Wolf's music continued to be a crucial aspect of his life, even as he ventured down different avenues. He valued his time with Lily and the girls at home, creating a loving, joyful atmosphere enriched with music. Their house turned into a haven where the difficulties of life were eased by the happiness they experienced together. The solid bond between Lily and Wolf endured time due to Lily's constant support and Wolf's commitment to his family and career. A supportive partner is the best thing anyone would pray for. The joy from a happy home is unmeasurable, but for Wolf, it wasn't for long, as his life was tragically cut short. Illness and death. In the late 1960s, Wolf began to notice a decline in his health. On his way to a show at the University of Chicago in 1965, with Hubert Sumlin, he had his first heart attack. While Sumlin was driving, Wolf unexpectedly struck the dashboard from the front passenger seat. Because of the alarming situation, Sumlin felt compelled to pick up a piece of wood that was 2 times 4 that he spotted on the road. By using wood, Sumlin struck Wolf's back, effectively restarting his heart. 3 weeks went by and another health issue arose. Wolf needed to undergo surgery for kidney and heart problems that occurred. However, he refused the surgery recommended by doctors, explaining to his wife that he needed to keep working. In the year 1970, Wolf was involved in a severe car accident that had the potential to be fatal. Being thrown out of the windshield increased the harm to his kidneys. Following the event, Lily, his spouse, had to administer dialysis to him every 3 days for the rest of his life. During that year, despite his declining health, Wolf traveled to the UK to record his album titled The London Howlin Wolf Sessions. While he was in the United Kingdom, his health problems began to worsen. 1 year after Wolf's last visit to the UK, his kidneys failed, and he had another heart attack. Moreover, he started experiencing high blood pressure. Despite these challenges, Wolf returned to the spotlight in May 1973. However, Eddie Shaw, the leader of his band, became increasingly concerned about his health. In order to be careful, Eddie restricted Wolf to performing only 6 songs per show to avoid further health problems. Howlin Wolf was hospitalized at Edward Hines Jr. Veterans Administration Hospital in Hines, Illinois, for kidney surgery in January 1976. Just 3 days before he died, doctors discovered a cancerous growth in his brain. Chester Arthur Burnett, who was also famously known as Howlin Wolf, died on the 10th of January in the year 1976, at the age of 65, from heart failure, kidney disease, and a brain tumor. He was buried in Oak Cemetery, located outside of Chicago, on the east side of the road in a Section 18 plot. The gravestone of the blues icon Chester Arthur Burnett, also recognized as Howlin Wolf, showcases a hand-carved image of a guitar and harmonica. Legacy. Howlin Wolf stands as a towering figure in the history of blues, leaving an enduring legacy that continues to shape music. His influence was formally recognized when he was posthumously inducted into the Blues Hall of Fame in 1980, and later, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1995, cementing his role as an early influence on multiple genres. His hometown of West Point, Mississippi, honors his contributions through several landmarks, including a Hall of Fame established in 1995 and the Howlin Wolf Blues Museum, which opened on September 1, 2005, at 57 East Brook Street. This museum not only celebrates his life and career, but also serves as the site of an annual festival in his memory, attracting fans and musicians to celebrate his lasting impact on the blues. In order to continue honoring his memory, Betty Kelly established the Howlin Wolf Foundation, a nonprofit group recognized legally by U.S. tax law. The organization offers grants for music students, advocates for blues learning, and backs blues artists and community initiatives. By implementing these programs, the foundation guarantees that Wolf's influence on the genre remains strong, motivating upcoming artists. Along with official honors, Wolf has a significant impact on mainstream culture. In 1999, a 29-cent stamp showcasing Howlin Wolf was released by the U.S. Postal Service, which reinforced his reputation as a national icon. Musicians are still inspired by his unique vocal style, known for its soulful, howling delivery. Swans, the experimental rock band, honored him by including the song Just a Little Boy for Chester Burnett on their album To Be Kind, released in 2014. In this song, Michael Gira, the lead vocalist, captures the vocal intensity that Wolf is known for, highlighting the timeless nature of his music. In 2023, Rolling Stone placed Howlin Wolf at number 59 on its list of the top 200 singers ever, a well-deserved acknowledgement of his vocal skills and enduring impact. Wolf overcame personal struggles, such as mistreatment in the military, and his relentless drive led him to achieve legendary status. His music, rich in emotion and intricacy, continues to be appreciated by people of all ages, solidifying his status as one of the most esteemed blues artists of all time. Even in his absence, his legacy continues to thrive, honored with events, organizations, and acknowledgments. Howlin Wolf's name will remain etched in the music realm, securing his legacy and cultural remembrance for the foreseeable future. So, what do you think about Howlin Wolf's life journey? Let us know in the comments. If you want more interesting revelations, be sure to like, subscribe, and watch the next video shown on your screen. See you there.